I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week
in Crootin.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScouts. He has fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, that is another thing that we could feed our candidates at the Dudes Rock.
That should have came right into our mind like instantly.
We failed.
But it's failed. Just...
I'm disappointed in myself. I'm too disappointed in myself now.
We cannot continue
on their menu though, and that's hard because there's a lot of things that I think.
Chicken wings, dude. Like, have you seriously? Their chicken wings are legit. Like, it's hard to jump over
the tendies.
A chicken tendy. Yeah. But I've got the chicken wings meal before, and it's really good. Okay. They do a good job with chicken wings. It's not an easy. I'd say the chicken wing is like the most skilled part of the chicken to cook well.
Screw up. It's really easy to screw up. It's easy to do poorly.
Especially when they're fried.
Hard to do well.
Yeah, fried chicken wings are tougher.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director.
It's This Week in Food.
It's This Week in Food. We'll start with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise, we're going to Midlothian to talk about the Panthers' senior offensive lineman / defensive lineman, Nelson McGuire, who he moved to the offensive line before the start of his senior season. And since then, everyone's noticed, hey, he's pretty good at offensive line. He's picked up offers from Florida, Auburn, Ole Miss, Clemson, and Texas A&M just since the start of the season. Nelson McGuire is really a fascinating prospect, and his journey has been really interesting.
Yeah, I think that we are watching some tape of him playing on the offensive line from one of his early games. Dude is dominant. He really controls the line of scrimmage, and actually, to me, just watching the tape and why I think some of the offers came in so fast and so furiously, despite the fact that he has a lack of experience playing that position, he's very technically sound. Combo blocking, zone blocking skills, he kind of shows a little bit of everything on tape, but the clips that are really going to grab your attention are when he's mashing somebody up front, picking up a pancake, and showing the ability to be a road grader. Yeah. Nelson McGuire is an added bonus for a Midlothian offense that loves to pound the rock, right? Like, they love to get grimy in the trenches and run the ball up the middle, get to the outside. I think they'd much rather call a run play than a pass play.
It's just like it's found talent. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't come for the JV. He's been here the whole time. But it's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I could do this too. And it's like such an advantage, I think, for that program to be able to put him on that side and be like, hey, not only can you handle the offensive line like a position switch, but he's playing left tackle.
Right.
Like, he's playing perhaps the most critical. I know they don't throw a ton, but the most critical spot on the offensive line, which, by the way, can be very difficult and very mentally taxing.
Right.
And he's handling it like a pro.
Yeah, and they have a really good offensive line there too, because you're talking about it, like Noah Best is on that offensive front, a guy that's picked up a lot of scholarship offers in his own right. Just a really talented group there, and Nelson McGuire is deserving all the accolades he's getting, all the attention that he's receiving, and especially the offers. Now it'll be interesting to kick back and see what he does, because he took an official visit to Auburn this past weekend. Mm-hmm. He's got an official visit to Clemson scheduled. Can A&M get in the mix? And I thought it was really cool because Landon Rink tweeted out a picture that he and Nelson McGuire played together as young up-and-coming stars back in their youth days, which that must have been a pretty good team, because I'm almost certain that Landon Rink played with Tiger Ryden and Kelvion Riggins as well. If all those dudes were on the same youth league team, can you imagine rolling up on a Saturday morning and walking out and walking onto the field as like a 12-year-old, and like Landon Rink and Nelson McGuire and Kelvion Riggins and Tiger Ryden are on the other team? No, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll pass.
I think I'll play soccer instead. So keep an eye on that, on Nelson McGuire, the offensive lineman, defensive lineman at Midlothian, one of the highest risers in the state. Let's now move out to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, we're going out west, way out west, to El Paso del Valle. And I got a note from Craig Way about this.
Okay.
Not only,
and I usually trust everything that Craig Way sends a note on.
It is the El Paso del Valle Conquistadores.
Okay.
I'm supposed to say that. Conquistadores. And it is Jake Fetty.
Yep, Fetty.
I said Fett on TV and I got yelled at.
Oh, okay,
so,
yeah.
Jake Fetty, who is the newest commitment for Arizona State, beating out in-state teams like Baylor, TCU, SMU, and Texas Tech.
You did a good job just being able to pronounce the high school name correctly, right? Like, you have a lot of experience
Del
doing
Valle
that.
and Del Valle are tough. I'm a gringo.
I definitely listened to some of our friends down in El Paso who have done some media with Fetty before this to make sure that we had his name right. I should have checked with you were just sitting right next to me. I should have checked with you.
I was just going on scoreboard. So
this dude has a chance to be the number one quarterback in the state. Mm-hmm. This is a huge win for Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State, and they did a tremendous recruiting job here with Fetty because they were able to knock off Texas State, and it was a really good game. If you guys didn't tune in, that was a good game last Thursday. Well, Dillingham went straight to El Paso, and he watched Fetty play in his high school game on Friday, which quickly led to a commitment. So it goes to show that the old pound in the street still works in recruiting. It's not always about NIL money. Sometimes it's about relationships and a connection with the coach and the school. That's what Fetty saw in Arizona State, and that's why they were able to pick up a commitment from him. On the field, this is the future of the Sun Devils offense. This is a dude that can do a little bit of everything. He has the moxie and the leadership that you're looking for at the quarterback position. Really good arm strength. And I think by the time the dust settles on the 2026 class, there will be a lot of people across not only the state of Texas, but the entire country that know Jake Fetty's name.
Jake Fetty, I'll quit mispronouncing it. He's that
No one's going to mispronounce it anymore whenever he's up for the Heisman Trophy at Arizona State.
I'm the last one who got it in when there was still like a reason to do it. Jake Fetty, the newest Arizona State Sun Devil commitment. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Oh, he's getting amped up for this one.
Yeah.
Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TF today. Let's round it all out with our underclassmen of the week, Greg.
Let's do it.
Our underclass of the week is Brenham running back Jacoby Dixon.
Wow.
Who is a running back for the Cubs. Brenham beat Killeen this week 73-42. I'll just let you.
Seems good.
Here's Greg Powers on Jacoby Dixon.
Well, first, he's a man-child. This dude's a freak show. He scored 7 rushing touchdowns. 7. Rushed for 291 yards. You can vote for him. He's up for Mr. Texas Football Player of the Week. Go ahead and hit our site, texasfootball.com, if you want to get your vote in for Jacoby Dixon. Oh, well, guess what? He also threw a touchdown pass.
For fun.
Yeah,
light work.
Yeah, just for fun. 73-42 win over a clean. In a game that was pretty close at the beginning of the game, but Jacoby Dixon just absolutely took over in the second half. I love to call my own self out on this show. I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't do this. I'm going to call myself out. We released the 2027 5-star watch list last week. Guess who wasn't on it?
Jacoby Dixon. Oh, no.
Jacoby Dixon was not on it. And there were 28 players, and I love to see running backs in person, and I just didn't know about his top end speed. If this game would have been 1 week ago,
he would have been on the list.
Jacoby Dixon, dude, this tape was unbelievable. I had really a lot of fun watching Jacoby Dixon score 7 touchdowns and all the media that came out of it. Already one of the top recruited players in that class, with offers from Baylor, Houston, SMU, TCU, Texas A&M, and much more. But I think like Beast Mode would be a good nickname for Jacoby Dixon. Man, the running backs in 2026 and 2027 in Texas high school football are just flat out fun, because you got Landon Williams-Callis also in that class. If I could build a perfect running back room, give me Landon Williams-Callis and Jacoby Dixon, thunder and lightning.
It's funny, and this is a I'm old moment and a you're old moment too. Do you remember the last really awesome Brenham running back?
Well, why don't you go ahead and tell me?
Ernest Patterson. Remember him?
Okay. I feel like they've had somebody else since then.
Maybe they have, but I just remember Ernest Patterson as being like, this dude is like supremely talented.
They're always tanks too, like
Always-
strong.
Yeah, exactly. They're always strong. But this is a guy that, again, I think you're exactly right. You look at that class of 2027, and we'll have time. We'll have 3 years to talk about these guys. But every class, I know we always talk about, like, this is the class with the awesome blank class. I feel like it's been a minute since we had a class with, like, that was like, oh, this is the running back class.
Right.
2027 may be the running back class, and that's the class with Booby Feaster in it.
Right. It may be the 2026 could be the running back class too,
Yeah.
with Javian Osborne and crew out there, Tredarian Ball. 2026 and 2027, a lot of the major schools are going to be coming to the Lone Star State to try to restock that running back room, and there are plenty of good options around to find. But don't drive past Brenham to go anywhere else, because they've got Jacoby Dixon, who is a freak show.
Another guy who's a freak show, Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Where are you going this week?
So Forney and North Forney
Nice.
is my Friday game, and Thursday's up in the air. I'm looking for my Thursday game after the show, so stay tuned. We'll see if we can find a
If
good
you
game
want Greg
across the
Powers
state.
at your game on Thursday, it's G Powers Scout on Twitter. Tweet.
There you go. Or Greg Powers Recruiting on Instagram. I'm trying to get to that 1K.
Greg Powers Recruiting on Instagram. Go follow him. He's deserving of your Instagram follow. Unfollow me and follow Greg Powers.
Sounds like a good plan.
Feels like a deal.